I'm Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
'24 Subaru BRZ.
TS without launch control, manual transmission. Still not going to jail.
Horsepower and torque.
228 horsepower, 184 pound-feet of torque from a 2.4-liter four-cylinder boxer engine.
So it's not fast, it's the right amount of speed.
Yes, they did not make the TS faster. They did a bunch of other things, Yuri.
And we missed out on the TS last BRZ, but we finally have it. What does TS stand for and what does it give you?
Tuned by STI. So everybody wants the STI nameplate back, but you're not getting it back fully, at least from a model perspective. But feature-wise, we do have some STI badges in here, like real ones, in the gauge cluster to make you think that you're still in an STI.
Nice.
And then the engine start-stop button. It's kind of funny.
This is like a BMW M.
Yeah, they're kind of doing that. It's like if they had the colors and stuff, which they do in like the STI
This
pink.
is the C43 AMG.
Yeah, and then the S in the TS badge is the same S as in STI, same color.
Yeah, I like the badge. I think it's cool. And then, so this is faster. We got a turbo. What do we have on here?
None of that, Yuri. It's a lot of handling stuff. So let's do some handling through Cliche Corner. I'm gonna downshift rev match with my feet, and this is the best. I am ripping through here in second gear. It is so fun to drive, just redlining this thing. The right amount of power, the right amount of control and oversteer when you want it. It is so much fun to drive this. What a great car.
As a passenger, that pumped-in audio is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Can you turn that off on this or no?
I've seen people do it in the aftermarket. I think there's like a thing you can unplug.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you can't actually do it without voiding your warranty or something.
But I'm sure that would be useful to have that pumped-in audio when you are on track and you have a helmet on.
Exactly. Like on a racetrack, yeah, for sure.
Can this thing turn left yet, or is it still oil something?
I don't know, Yuri. I'm not really sure. It's the same engine. They haven't changed the engine, so same power and all that stuff.
That's not a TS feature?
No. So let's get to the TS specific stuff. Do you want to start with the looks?
Yes.
So the first,
that cool wing like last generation.
Unfortunately not.
Goddamn.
First, most obvious thing, we have a red BRZ logo in the headlight.
Ooh, I noticed the badge had a couple extra letters on the back of it.
Yes. So there's not that many visual changes, at least body-wise, there's really nothing. Wheel and brake-wise, that's where it really shines. We got these nice looking wheels. I really like the design of them. Kind of reminiscent of like an 04 STI to me, but not
black.
in silver exactly.
But
Sorry,
black.
not in silver or gold, BBS gold, but we do have gold Brembos, which to me look almost identical to the ones that were on the 04 STI. Maybe it's even the same part number, probably not. But the funny part about those is back in the day when I had my 04 WRX, all of the people with STIs, they would call them brown bows because if you took them to the track, they would turn brown from gold.
Oh, nice.
From heat cycles.
From heat, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I don't know if these still do that. Let us know in the comments if you own one of these because these have been out for a little while now.
Yes, as is tradition.
Yes.
We got our Subarus a lot later in Canada.
Yeah. So visually, that's really the only exterior differences. Interior, we do get these blue stitching and blue parts on the seats and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, you just gotta look for the badge, I guess.
Yeah, and then mechanically, we do get different suspension. So retuned dampers, different dampers up front, and I actually think it rides very, very well. This is a very comfortable car.
We are so far in between the last time I drove a BRZ. I can't really remember the difference, but this feels nice.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like compare it mentally to the old one. I'm just trying to like assess this for what it is, what I'm driving on the road right now.
It's not uncomfortable.
No, it's not too bumpy, so the damping and everything that they did for this is really, really good.
I would say this is softer than the WRX TR.
Yes, it is, definitely.
So then I think TS is for track, so that you can drive faster, not slide more.
Yes,
So it comes with grippier tires, I assume.
It does. They are summer performance tires, and the Continental recommended tire, Yuri.
The Extreme Contact Force, am I right?
Extreme Contact Sport 02 would be great as well. But, okay, here's where I have a whole problem with this car. It is very grippy with these tires and with the whole suspension package and what they did to this, which is great for anyone that's valuing handling and wants the faster lap times. But driving this on the street out here, it has more grip, which to me actually makes it less fun. So it doesn't slide around as much, like every intersection with little slides and little turns if you just want to floor it. It doesn't really do that like the base BRZ does. It's just, if you value like Porsches and handling, then you're really going to like this.
I like this because I'm not really looking to like slide on public roads anymore.
And I get that.
I like to just stay dialed, and for me, this feels good.
Okay, so through Cliche Corner, we have the same...
Stay dialed.
We have the same Torsen LSD, so I'm actually going to stay a gear up from where I want to be. Let some of that torque pull me through. And there is a bunch of body roll, and it's so controllable, but you cannot fully defeat traction, at least anything that I've found, because it is still flashing at me through the gauge cluster. And we don't really have drive modes. We have this traction off and track stability mode, and then we have this traction off, which just illuminates a little track off button. So there's no like off, at least with these two buttons.
If you drive this car in real life, you want to push the button on the right with the track flag.
Which then changes your gauge cluster to a left-right tack, and you can't change that between the modes. Once you're in track mode, that's your default.
And you get a shift light, which is cool.
Yeah, so I turned that on because it wasn't on when I got in here.
The shift light slaps.
Yeah.
It's got the Riz.
So this does drive...
Skibbity toilet.
So this does drive really, really well through Cliche Corner, and the handling is really, really fun if you want grip. And then the 6-speed is also really, really notchy. It's really fun to use. Unlike the WRX that we're also driving, this feels way better, and you can like really pound the gears in this. So like you
wait, I wouldn't say way better. Like
I would.
There's an extra little bit of like clickiness that feels nicer.
Oh, dude, this is great.
But I think the banging gears comes from rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive.
Yeah, and I can like nail all these downshifts and everything. Like this feels great through here. It is so much fun to drive, and I know how this is gonna pitch in here, and I can just nail my downshift. And man, this is just, the brakes are really good. Like everything about the way that this drives is just so much fun. I feel like I need to like wring this thing out to get the most out of it, which to me is just like, this is great. And I still don't feel like I'm going to go to jail. And when I did that launch in the beginning of the video, I had to, really rev up the engine to be able to get some of that traction loss.
Yeah,
so,
but
overall,
hey, if you watch the promotional video, man, that's all he was doing.
Exactly.
Dumping clutches, doing burnouts, and sliding and stuff. So they want you to slide. They say professional driver, do not recreate. But like, this is our profession.
Professional drivers.
Yeah. And I actually don't think they showed up that warning until like 2 clips in. So if people stopped at that point.
There you go.
Yeah, shout out that guy. And they had a cool blue one. We're stuck in like white, which is like...
Yeah, like it does have some flake to it, which is kind of nice. But
not very creative of a press car. Like, I think they should ban press cars in white, like, honestly. Unless it's like maybe a Mercedes or a Land Rover and it's like very sparkly.
Yeah, or like even black too. But by the way, let's take a listen to the outside. You can rev it all the way out, which is great. And it sounds like a little bit of that boxer rumble-ish, but not too much. But
I feel like the things you like about this is the stuff that makes it an old car.
Yes, all of it, including this infotainment. All right, Yuri, let's switch drivers because I think I've had my fun.
Okay.
Even though I want to keep having fun.
You keep using that stuff and I'll do this.
Okay.
Clutch in.
Okay.
Let out. Clutch in.
Are you down? You got to tell me if you're downshifting or upshifting.
Out.
I don't know what you're doing.
What a beer am I in? Oh, fourth.
Yeah.
I missed second.
Yeah.
All right, not fully dumped the clutch, launch. It's nice.
It is nice.
It's chill.
It's a good amount of power.
Do I like it more than I like ripping in a Miata?
I think I like this.
The age-old question.
Yeah.
So far, this is cooler, bigger, make it more of a drift platform. But there's something about a stock-on-stock Miata, like compared to a stock BRZ.
This is more practical. I like the power out of this. I think I like the Miata engine more, though. I'm not sold on this kind of boxer thing, but the update has made it a lot better.
Okay, cool stuff in this. We got a manual handbrake. That's awesome. Shifter's cool. And I like that the handbrake's on the inside as opposed to a Miata, because if I was going to rip handbrake turns,
it's
right
built
there.
for it.
I don't know if it's built for it. I don't know if the cable's built for it. This isn't a new Mustang.
No.
Okay, actually, I kind of want to see what it does in...
You actually have to go to a very low speed, and then it turns itself back on if you're trying to turn off track off. There.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to go below, I think, 50, and there you go.
So now this is just one traction.
This is just traction control, not stability control. And then you're going to go faster, and it's going to turn itself back on, so it's useless.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to see what like a normal driver would feel through Cliche Corner if they kept everything on.
There, it's already back on.
So if I click this...
It doesn't do anything.
Until you're going slow.
Yes.
All right, so let's see what it feels like, everything on.
This is regular mode. See if it's gonna cut power. Feels fine. I'm trying to see if the light's flashing or anything, and no, it feels fine. There. Okay, I felt it pull a little bit at the end there.
Barely
Barely.
any interference with everything on.
Yeah, and we have a Torsen LSD, which is the same as the regular BRZ.
That's actually like such a great safety blanket.
Yeah.
If you're new to driving rear-wheel drive, like I would feel comfortable, like rear-wheel drive, brand new driver, Viking Contact 7s in winter.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and in my excitement, I kind of forgot to recommend a higher tread wear tire from Continental, which would be the Pure Contact LS. So if you wanted to, you know, have a little bit more fun and extend your tread wear life, that would be the tire
So
to get.
Slide Central.
I'm not going to say that.
Oh, BMW turn signals, I forgot. Usually we don't turn our turn signals on while doing car reviews.
Yeah.
Because the clicking noise, but yeah, that part sucks. I do not like that.
And then you can actually change the one tap to turn signal in the gauge cluster, which I found kind of funny.
Yes, and for those who don't know what a BMW turn signal is, when you click it, it doesn't stay in that position until you turn. It's like you have to click it back.
It basically just cancels it at the center point.
And then I see that we have lane keep assist.
Lane departure warning.
Okay, do we have adaptive cruise in this?
Yes, we do actually, for a manual transmission. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
Subaru
pretty cool.
Eyesight.
Okay, I think you told me I want to talk about this infotainment when I drive.
I think I was right.
Remember what I always said about the older Subaru infotainment? It's the perfect one.
I don't remember anything you say ever.
It is perfect. It's got the volume knob, tuning knob. We got buttons for a bunch of stuff. We've got CarPlay, and it's wired, not wireless, which is great because the new WRX only has wireless, which sucks.
And Android Auto as well. This infotainment is lovely to use. The sound system is honestly pretty terrible, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I got my Beach Boys channel 79 right now on Sirius XM. I'm a happy camper. Is it like too loud in here or anything? That bump, push your corner bump was nice and soft.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's too loud. It's appropriate for what I'm expecting from this vehicle.
Yeah, I think, you know, as a driver, I don't mind the pumped-in audio, but at certain points, it kind of gets like, all right.
High RPM.
If I was doing like Tail of Dragon or like a longer road, I'd be like, all right, shut the up. Okay, your climate control, we got digital in the middle, knobs to turn, they're very easy to use. Got just hard buttons for stuff.
You can't complain about anything in here.
The best part about this is that so much of it is old tech.
Yes. It's literally perfect. Like, sure, we got some cheap plastics, but like, whatever.
That's what I want in this.
Yeah, if that's what it takes to get a 6-speed manual with this fun engine and everything. And then we also have Alcantara over here. So like, there's some that's also like not that cheap as well. But I did find some cheap spots when I'm driving. So elbow rest is fine as a passenger because my arms aren't forward. Because I wish this actually telescoped more towards me.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, so there's a spot on my elbow where it stops getting soft towards where your door handle is.
It's firmer on the handle for where you're closing it, because if it was soft, you'd rip it off.
Exactly. So like my elbow isn't in the best resting spot.
Okay, I noticed that if I have my cup holder area open, then sometimes my elbow catches on this little thing here.
I could see that. And I was able to have a coffee in the back one and not hit my elbow, so I'm totally okay with the cup holder setup.
Yeah, it fits a small cup just fine. We got our plug there for our CarPlay, and then we have our heated hard button stuff right in front of that, which is good. I like that. Visor test.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1. Wow. And then you pointed out something that happened to you that also happened to us on one of our very first BRZ reviews.
Okay, so because of the angle that you're seated in here, which is quite low, first time I got it, actually nearly every time I get out of this thing, everything falls out of my shorts pockets.
Yes, and I don't like putting stuff in my pockets, and that's why I've got my fanny pack, which solves that issue.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a real, genuine solve of that issue.
Yeah, it only took 7 years since we started reviewing cars.
Yeah, too bad I will never try and solve it that way.
Shout out Chris's BRZ.
Yeah, Chris.
You're a legend.
You're a legend, Chris. Thank you. Also, he blew up that BRZ multiple times with turbos.
Yeah,
and
wasn't he like chasing down R8s at KU?
Yeah, it was quick until it blew up like 6 times.
By the way, this is a 4-seater.
Yes, barely, but it is.
There is room back there. If you need it to fit, well, okay, if like 5'8", if short kings needed to fit other short kings, you'd be fine.
Can they?
Yeah,
Sit
bro.
behind yourself right now.
I could do 4 5'8"ers in here and get somewhere that I need to get. So then this does have a reverse camera.
Yes,
obviously.
it does. Yes.
Because,
Government mandated.
It's fine. It's nice to have. I like that.
Oh, and the steering, really good in this. It's not too loose like the WRX's. It's just nice.
Yeah, I like the body weight transfer when you're driving this, and I like how small the steering wheel is.
Yeah, exactly. The shape of it, everything works really
Like
well.
my fingers don't get in the way of any of these buttons, which I don't feel like I want to press anyways, but I got some menu stuff through, which feels very Toyota.
Yeah. And speaking of Toyota, this actually, I was surprised, at least in Canada, this outsold the GR86 by 2.6 to 1. So for every one GR86 sold, they sold 2.6 of these more.
Nice. Yeah. Maybe because
I don't know where that 0.4 is, but
maybe because FRS and stuff will like when I think of this platform, I think BRZ before I think FRS or 86.
So do I.
So they established the same name longer with a stronger brand, so that's why they got it.
And it is their motor, so like the whole reason this exists is Toyota's money, but with the platform and the motor from Subaru. So I get it.
But it's like Subaru doesn't have a rear-wheel drive except for this. So I feel like there's a lot of Toyota in it.
There is. It's even on the logo on the engine bay.
And then trunk space, small opening, but enough room for 2 carry-ons.
Yeah.
Let's do one at a time. And
Yeah.
I've got a button there to open it up. I mean,
It works.
this is a really cool car. I don't hate anything about it, and I would love to see more on the road.
Yeah,
It'd be
me
cool.
too.
It'd be cool if it had the wings so I could spot it easier, but
Yep.
I don't know how much money does a carbon fiber wing cost to add to this.
I mean, depends if you get a real one like an APR or something like that.
Okay, and then you could probably fit a bucket in here.
I think so. I think I could.
Seats are comfortable. Manual, not power, but like a lot of good adjustment. No lumbar, but I feel like I don't need it.
And I can get low enough on the seat, which is nice.
No complaints. Good pedal box. I love everything about this.
Yeah, heel toe is great. Like, this is such a fun car to drive.
You know, let's get to the price, and then I got a couple questions for you.
Okay, because I got a couple statements to make. Here we go. This one is $36,295.
Canadian?
Which is kind of a lot, but also kind of not, because if you compare it to a WRX, the most fun that Subaru makes other than this is way cheaper.
Yeah, with like the inflation of car prices,
I know.
that's like, and compared to how much a Miata costs.
And you can get an entry-level BRZ for like right around 30, which is a bargain.
But it's so nice to have like good brakes and good suspension.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to make a statement of. So I understand why this exists, and these, I think, will be more valuable in the future just because of the TS name, so you get a special edition. And if you modify a base model and, you know, add Brembos and wheels and seats and all that stuff, it still will not be worth as much as this if you left it stock, in my opinion.
And if you want like a less grippier tire than the one this comes with, just wear these out and then go buy like a higher tread wear Continental tire.
Yeah, the Pure Contact LS, and just slide around everywhere for fun and have a very high tread wear rating.
If you get this over a previous BRZ off tsb.truecar.com, because you could probably find a used one for less money, and wouldn't it be kind of like just as okay?
I've got the answer for you, Yuri. I would actually get a older FRS with an LS engine in it for $18,000, because whoever bought that off Marketplace, I tried to buy that. I missed out. I'm so upset. Somebody was literally selling an FRS with an LS in it that looked like a super clean swap. It was white, and I missed out. I messaged the guy, and I've been waiting all winter to buy this thing. So if you bought it, I'm still ready to buy it from you.
Yeah, all
So
right.
anyways, that's my, just buy an older one because they're so cheap and they're all so great.
Yeah, I think I like the looks of like the FRS, the first one.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I need as many features that this has, and I think I'd be happy with that. But
Stock for stock, the engine improvements are nice.
if you just wanted to go buy a new car and not deal with like used car sales,
Yes,
hell yeah.
I agree.
Good job, Subaru from 10 years ago. You made a great car.
And Toyota.